I arrived in Abitibi in 1946, and I came to Cadillac to see my brother that was working in Bousquet on a diamond drill, and stayed here for a couple of days, and then he asked me why don't I try to get a job here because I was not working. So I asked him, well, where could they possibly get a job? He said they take veterans at O'Brien, and especially when you speak English. So I got a job there. First job that they give me is a trammer. You push the 1-ton car all day long, and it's pretty hard for a person that never had hard work before. So I done that for about 6 months, and then they asked me if I was interested to go and work on a drill as a helper. So I did. They raised me from 63 cents an hour to 66. Then I got to be a runner, what we call a runner, running the drill yourself. And I done that for another probably a year. And then my health didn't permit it. I had to quit. I went to hospital in Montreal. When I came back, they offered me another job. I was what they used to call a powder man. And I was in charge of sending the powder and the fuses. And then I was in charge too of the tools that the miners used to take underground. Then I worked on the cage as a cage man.
Est-ce qu'il arrive des fois que le câble casse? Ça n'a jamais arrivé dans cette mine ici, seulement ça a déjà arrivé dans d'autres mines. Ça a été grave? Il y avait du monde? Oui, il y avait des visiteurs comme vous. Ils sont tous morts? Tous morts.
That's all the work I did at O'Brien, then until at the end in 1956. It was a little bit like when I was in the army. You had to listen to their rules. It was hard work, and you didn't know at any time if you could get laid off. They could come, and the shift boss say, "Well, we don't need you no more. Don't trouble to come to work tomorrow morning." That was pretty hard. So that made you work harder. On day shift, there were about 70, and on night shift, we were around 50, 55. Working underground, and all told, altogether, around 200 people working at the mine. The day shift started at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we come up at 4. And then the night shift started at 8 o'clock at night and finish at 4 o'clock in the morning. In between the shifts, there was nothing. You're 2 weeks night, 2 weeks day. And you get, we used to get one 7-day holiday a year. At O'Brien, it wasn't bad. The conditions weren't bad, but compared to today, they were, because you had no protection. If they feel that they don't need you anymore, it doesn't matter if you work there 2 years, 3 years, you're out. And that's all you could do. You couldn't go and say, "Why did you fire me? Why did you get rid of me?" They'll tell you, "We don't need you anymore." So you had no protection. But we enjoyed ourselves. We joined the curling club and the bowling team from the O'Brien, and that's about all the sports. We had picnics. We had a beach at, we used to call it O'Brien Beach. That was for the O'Brien people. And we were a big family. We were a big family. And I stayed there for a little better than 10 years until it closed down. So, you know, it was all right. It was all right. About a year after the war ended, we started to get some immigrant. We used to call them DP, displaced person. They were people that come from Russia, even from Germany. I worked with some two German fellas that claimed that they fought against me in Normandy. They were in the SS. And they were in, what the hell they used to call it? They had another name, but they were SS troops. And they were nice guys. And by what they told me, it makes sense. They fought at the same front as I did. And they were nice guys. I can even name them. One the name was Schultz, and the other fellow was Wills. But then you had a lot of Polish and Ukrainians. Estonians, and we had quite a few of them. We had, I would say in the mine at one time we must have had at least 30 immigrants, and a lot of them has been prisoner of war, especially Polish. They've been prisoner of war in Russia, and they had a hard time, and they were good men. They made good miners. We're all veterans. Doesn't matter if you were a German or if you were a Polish or if you were a Ukrainian. We're all veterans, and a lot of veterans working at the mine at the time. That's why we, I don't know, we got along pretty good in a way. A lot of Nova Scotian, and not too many French Canadians. The French Canadians and the English didn't get along. Before we used to go underground, we used to stay in a shaft house for about 20 minutes, I guess, 15, 20 minutes, waiting for our turn to go down with a cage. And you used to see two gangs. One gang of French Canadian sitting in a corner, and the gang of what we call the English. They were Germans or what, or Ukrainian or what. We used to call them les Anglais. They used to sit in the corner. That was sad because I was not used to that. Where I come from, we were all together down Gaspé. From New Richmond, French and English people made no difference. We were about 40 families in that town site. And it was a different thing. There was a first, second, and third class. And if you were first class, if you were second, don't try to be with. Well, the O'Brien was run a little bit like that. But then we used to go and play curling and bowl all together, staff as well as us. But on the job. You were number one, you were not number two. But I liked it. We had a lot of fun there. Oh, yeah. I'd say that was pretty well the best time of my life. I enjoyed it, and so did my wife, so my kids very much. We got along with them because we learned how to get along with them, and that's all. And we were not. Maybe you would think that we weren't happy, but we were. We mind our own business, and we got along good. I've got very good memory. We had we had a lot of good times, and at the same time, we stayed friendly. We mind our own business. We didn't try to do anything that we were not supposed to, that they didn't like us to do. And those days, it's not like it is now. Today, the people say, well, they're hard to satisfy more than we were. We were happy with little. And that's why today we can say we had a very, very good time, very, very good time. It was beginning. We were 24 years old. My wife was about 21 when we came there. So for 10 years, that was something that that was very dear to us. It was beginning of our life as married people, bringing up family and all that. So it was good. Yeah. So it was hard time, and that's why the people came up Abitibi to work and making good money at the time. Because at the time when we were making, even at the end of my time at O'Brien, we were making $1.40 an hour. That was good money in those days. Everything was cheap. You used to buy a new car for $2,000. A new Chevrolet Silver Streak, fully equipped, $2,100. So with $1.40 an hour, a little bit bonus, not much bonus, a little bit. The only one that used to make good bonus, it was the driftman, and they used to make $2.50 a day bonus. It was good. Today the miners, they like to make around $100. Some of them double their salary a day bonus in the mine. But those days the driftman, you made $2.50. Us working in the stope, twice a week they used to post the bonus that we made. It was under $1 a day. 60-odd cents a day bonus. But that 60-odd cents a day, maybe today it represent $35, $40 maybe. That's the big difference. They let us know about 2 years before that the mine were going to close down. And they, especially the last year that it was in operation, they used to let the people go, but they used to keep the gang going. They knew they need them for another year. They used to make it better for you in money-wise when you quit. They used to give you more. Like we had a pension plan, and if you stay right to the end, I couldn't tell you exactly what it meant. It meant quite a bit more money if you stayed right to the end. If you quit to go to another mine, to get another job, you didn't get quite as much. When I quit after 10 years, if I'm not mistaken, it gave me my pension plan about $2,800. They settled with you. The mine had supposed to put so much money in. The mine had put as much as you did. So that gave me $2,800. That was quite a lot of money those days. Well, they closed down the mine because they would have to go deeper and they would cost too much money. it was too costly. So they figured that they're going to close down the mine, and they went and got all the gold that they could got that was easy to get at, and that took a couple of years. And they took all the gold that was easy, the higher grade gold, and they closed the mine. But there's still lots of good quality gold now at the price of the gold left in that mine. And to give you an idea how it works, after the mine closed down, there was a pile of rocks, what we used to call waste. What they get the gold from the rocks, they used to pile it up in the yard. That was waste. And after the mine closed down, there's a gentleman from Timmins came with a little crusher and a little mill, and he got the permission, and he went through all that pile. It took him about a year and a half, and he got some gold out. I don't know how much, but he got some good gold, and there's still lots of gold left. But to come back to your question, yes, it will reopen, that mine. There's two fellas were what we call pulling the chute. It was on a night shift. So the shift boss, the foreman on that shift, he asked me if I could go down the 600 to see them two fellas, how they were doing, because I had a little bit of experience in that kind of work, and those guys were new at it. So I went down. They were there on the 600, and I told them I was sent down to see how they were doing and if I could help them. The chute, it's where the material that you're pulling down is blocked by two planks that you put on two iron like that and goes up and down. You lift it up and that material comes down. The waste, it's come from the surface and it's mixed with sand and water. And it's very heavy. So you have to go slowly, because if you let it go too fast, when you try to bring down your plank, you're going to lose control. There was a fault in that, and nobody knew about it. So it all caved in. There was 600 tons of that material, all came down and came down on top of them guys. And me, I got stuck the other end. There was 2 o'clock in the morning. And I got stuck there. I realized what had happened. I knew the two fellows were dead. I heard them yelling, but they were not far from me anyway, over distance from me to you. And they were both buried alive. But I was stuck there. I had to wait till somebody come and get me. And that was 2 o'clock in the morning, as I said, and we were, our shift was finished. I was supposed to come up to surface at 4. So at 4 o'clock, they missed me and the two guys. So they sent somebody to see what had happened. Where were we? So as soon as the guys came in the drift, they saw that all that stuff had blocked my passage to come to the station. So we call that a spill. So they said they had a spill. So they took a muck machine up from the 2000 up there, and about 10 men. And before they got me a place to get out of there, it was 7:30 in the morning. I was stuck down there, and I was stuck down there for about 4 hours without any light. So when you don't have any light, no more lights on the ground, you sit down and you don't move because it's too dangerous. You can kill yourself, you know. And so I waited and waited until that time they came. But when at 4 o'clock, we have a system on the ground. If we're stuck someplace, a rock fall or anything similar to the situation that I was in, you communicate with other people by hitting the air pipe, the line that comes. There's always a line for the air and the water, and you hit on the. And when they came up to start to free me to get that waste out of there, hitting on the and I got an answer, you know, and then it was all right, you know. I said, well, they're going to get me out of there, but it took a long time. It took from about 4:30 to 7:30, for 3 hours, and that is something that I can't get out of my mind. And I seen a lot of people getting killed during the war. I don't have to tell you about that, but you know that on D-Day, I was in the front line on D-Day, landed one of the first on that beach, and saw a lot of bodies that drowned before they never even landed. They got a direct hit on their boat, and then but these two fellas is not the same, because I was trapped. When you're trapped and you can't help yourself, you can't help nobody, and you gotta wait, it stays in you for life. Fatal accidents, quite a few in that year. Another fella, he was going up in the cage and he fell off somehow, and we had some material in the cage where he shouldn't, and it stuck in what we call in the timber, and he went over, and that was on a 23, and he fell in the shaft, and it was an awful mess. It took a fella about a week to clean the shaft with lime. When they got the body out, there was no leg, no arm, no neck, just a torso. He had smashed himself. And that's about my experience. But it didn't, I mean, what the hell, it's life. What can you do? But there was too many accidents at one time. Yeah. I guess it happened in all the mines. There's so many accidents. It's accidents are not always doing something bad. Some accidents you can't prevent them. You don't know it's there, and it happened. So that's it. Best memory? Oh, my best memory is to have worked there and been with a gang, and it's a little bit like with the gang in the army. We were, I came there with some fellas that stayed, like the veterans. Most of them stayed there for 10 years, like me. So you got to be like brothers, you know. Oh yeah, at work and then out of work too. Like at O'Brien, pardon me, on the property, we had a lot of fun. We used to go those days to, you know, there was a lot of sports outside. The skating ring was outside. We used to go and see our team, you know, meeting team from Rouen, Amos, Val-d'Or, and Ball was the same thing. And we had a lot to do beside going to the hotels. But we used to go to hotels at least a couple of times, spend the weekend pretty near a couple of times a month. It's funny, we used to go to a hotel at 8 o'clock at night with a wife. If she wants to come, if she don't want to come, we go the same, she stay home. And we used to stay there until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And sometime we go the next day too. And that was the way. And, it wasn't good, but it was good to us those days. And we pay for it now. But when I quit drinking now since 15 years. I've got no remorse. I'm happy, and my 10 years that I work at O'Brien, like I said before, and I mean it, it was one of the best years of my life. I learned more in those 10 years at work and outside of work, and all through life. In those 10 years, they were good times. Oh yeah, they were good times.
Well, Norman, thank you very much.
Well, I'm glad that I could be at your help, and I wish I could tell you more, but we forget a little bit too, you know. We said we don't, what we do. We forget lots of things, and lots of things we try to forget the bad things. We try to forget them. And if you want to live happy, my advice is to try to forget the bad things and to realize that they were bad, but not to feel it happened, and that's all there's to it. And yeah, and that's how you can be happy when you're older, like we are. While we're happy today, it's the life that we had. True, there were bad times too, but there's bad times with everybody. So it's no use to feel sorry about it. You feel happy that you're alive and you can still maneuver. So the life wasn't too bad after all.